Welcome along to episode 775 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. And coming up on the show this week, we'll be hearing from Anthem Voices all about their Brit Anthems gig. That's on the way in June. We'll be catching up with the team behind Dogfight, which is going to be at the Rose Theatre in Rugeley. Adam Bloom, one of the men from 12 Angry Men, in fact, the understudy. So he's been many men in the show who will be along to let us know what it's like to be part of that experience. We'll be having a natter with Kate Dufton. She is show lead for the Malvern RHS Spring Festival. That's coming up. Kira Mack will be along to let us know about their forthcoming gig in Wolverhampton this week. We'll be having a bit of a natter with the team from Sutton Arts Theatre about their production, The Late Marilyn Monroe. And you can find out what happened. And I went for a walk around the city of Wolverhampton as we had a look at the brilliant pieces of artwork that are part of the Street Stories campaign. That's all on the way on the show this week.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
Now, Anthem Choir are back doing their thing once more. Another show on the way. Another evening of huge entertainment brought to you by some hugely talented voices, all led by another amazing talent, Elise Evans. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Jason. How are you?
I'm all right. I've just eaten an extra book of superlatives, I think, today. So I'm using those to describe you guys because you are amazing. You're a great fun choir to be part of, and I know that everybody involved loves being there. And then everyone has a fantastic time when you run a gig.
I know. I don't know how it's happened, but we're now at max capacity. So we've got 70 members and a waiting list of about 15. Nobody wants to leave, which is glorious, but also heartbreaking at the same time because we want to have lots of people come and join us. But due to our room size and also because of the shows that we put on, we don't like to go too big because we want to be able to perform at these brilliant venues. But yeah, when you come to an anthem rehearsal, a choir session, or one of our gigs, the whole point of it is to have a good time. That is the main that is the ethos of what Anthem is all about.
And the good bit is, because you've got people of all sorts of abilities when they join, and whatever their talent, and whether they're a sort of soloist or whether they are somebody who is belting it out at the back of the choir, there is something for everybody.
Absolutely. So we say this choir is for everyone, no matter what your ability, as long as you've just got a love for singing, then you are so welcome to be part of this choir. And you're absolutely right, because we've got members of our choir that have had lives as professional singers before that want to just come and have now as a hobby. We have singers that come that have never sang before and they just like the idea of being part of a choir. So we've got members on all different ends of the spectrum when it comes to being part of this choir, and their singing experience.
And people they're following Anthem Voices on Facebook, even if they're not members, because they want to know where you're performing next. And that's a good thing. You could be at a supermarket one week, and the next week, I don't know, you could be at Dormston's Mill Theatre in Sedgley on the 23rd of June. Two performances at 2:30 and 7:30, doing a few Brit anthems.
Nice segue. Yeah,
I wasn't reading that at all.
That is the key. I mean, we are so lucky. We've performed across so many different venues, but you're absolutely right. 1 minute, over Christmas, we were performing in Asda in Wolverhampton by the Molyneux. And then a couple of nights later, we were putting on a performance in the church. We do flash mobs. I mean, we perform anything that involves singing, we do. But yeah, our next big concert, which we're here to promote, is obviously Brit Anthems, which is on Sunday, the 23rd of June, as you said.
And this means we've got a couple of months to get ourselves, get ready, get some tickets, and work out how you're going to work your day out. You can go twice if you want to, but it is about some fun music. And I'm pretty sure you're younger than me, but Brit Anthems must have been what you were listening to when you were growing up.
Well, yeah, I mean, the beauty of Britain. Well, I say it's the beauty. It's also been quite the challenge because when you say British anthem, everyone's got their favourites. So it's been quite difficult to sort of narrow them down and sort of choose the ones that we've gone for. But the style of the show is very pop rock. We've gone for anthems, songs that make you want to dance, songs that make you want to sing along. So we've got Beatles in there, we've got Queen, we've got Amy Winehouse, we've got the Spice Girls. We've gone for really strong British artists who have got those songs that just make you want to get up at the end of a night. At the end of a night at a disco, you want to be dancing in a big circle. Those are the songs you're going to hear when you come to the Dormston on the 23rd.
And it's a fantastic venue. I've been there this week, and it's just such a nice way of seeing. And the stage is big enough to accommodate all 70 of you in one go.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky that we've got, I think, 62 taking part in the show this year, so record numbers. But yeah, it's a squeeze, but we get on there, and the sound. Like when I say to people, like, come and hear the harmonies, because that is what it's all about. Because yes, you might love the song, you might love the lyrics, the performance, but when you hear the wall of harmonies that's going to hit you in the face on that Sunday, it will blow you away. Some of the songs, it gives me goosebumps, and I'm not meant to get goosebumps. I'm meant to be fully in the moment, but I do get to sort of stand back and just listen, and the sound is just amazing.
And of course, I mean, the choir will be mic'd as well, I take it?
Yeah, because we're very lucky. We've got a brilliant sound and lighting team who come with us every year, and they sound and light it beautifully. So not only is it great for the ears, but also it looks gorgeous as well. And of course, we're a performance choir, so we don't just stand with books. There's no books on stage. They have about, I think, 13 songs they have to learn totally off by heart, and they will just be looking out performing. We've got some choreography. We've got some smaller ensemble pieces as well. We've got soloists. So it's not like any choir show you've probably ever been to before. If you've been to one of our shows, you'll know what we can do. But if you haven't and you're thinking about it, I really recommend you do, because it's unique. It's unlike any other choir show that I've ever experienced.
Yeah, and we see shows on TV which focus around choir leaders, and I mean, to be fair, Gareth Malone's got nothing on you as a choir leader, to be honest with you. But it is about bringing the most out of people, and they say the sort of gang that you've got coming along, they are there for the passion for music, and that is what you will hear. Your ears will be full of musical passion.
Aren't we lucky though, to think that music, not only is it great as a hobby and people come because they love singing, they're passionate about music, but it's just so good for our well-being as well. We have people come to us, they've had a long day at work and they might have got stuck in traffic, and the weather, as we know, has not been great recently, but they come for 90 minutes in that church hall every Thursday to just come together to sing. And the minute we start singing together, all those negative thoughts and feelings, they just melt away. It's just the most joyous thing, being able to sing together as part of a choir.
Mm-hmm. And I think one of the important things you get with any choir or any group like this is the uniforms and the branding.
Oh, yes.
This is part of the fun as well. I mean, you've got your hoodie on, but it is, again, it's part of being almost a club, but
You're a team now. You are.
Yeah, a group of people who are social, and I dread to think what it's like and how noisy it is on a coach trip if ever you guys are going somewhere.
We've not done a coach trip. We've been on trains before. I tell you what, though, we're a very lively bunch, and again, because there's so many of us, and what's beautiful as well is that Anthem's been together 7 or 8 years. And the friendships that have been formed because of this choir is really quite something. So yeah, you're right. Like the noise that we make together and the socials we have are fantastic. And that's also a big part of being a member of a choir, whether it's our choir or any other choir, it's those social connections that you get to make, which are just as important, I think. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, the branding and being part of a team, we don't do pay-as-you-go sessions for that reason in this particular choir. We've got some other stuff which is pay-as-you-go, but this particular choir, the flagship choir, Anthem Voices, is just a year membership. So you can be part of something, because I think that's important as well, to feel like you're part of a family.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking to families, have any families started because of Anthem Voices yet? Have you been able to take lay claim to that?
No, but we do have a lot of husband and wife sort of duos. So we have a couple of husband and wives that are part of the choir. We've got mums and daughters in the choir, which is quite nice as well at the moment. We've got sisters in the choir, 2 lots of sisters. So again, it's really lovely. And my Anthem is a family brand, because it's myself leading it, it's my husband who does all my stage management, it's my brother-in-law who does my lighting, so it's very much a family affair.
And I think that all adds to it particularly. Okay, so it is Brit Anthems. We know it's the 23rd of June. Where do we go for tickets for either the matinee or the evening performance?
Yeah, it's Sunday the 23rd of June, 2:30 and 7:30. Tickets on sale right now via the wonderful CT website, which is ct.co.uk/Brit Anthems. It's £15 for adults and £8 for under 12s. You're going to have the most amazing afternoon, evening with us, whichever you choose. You might come back for more. You might come to the matinee and think, oh, I'll come again, because some people have done that before, which is amazing.
It's like listening to album quality music, but performed live in front of your very eyes.
It is. We could make our own now. That's what I call Anthem. That's got to be something I think we need to do in the future.
Okay, more branding and probably T-shirts to go with it. It sounds good to me. Elise Evans, the choir master from Anthem Voices, absolute star and pretty blooming loud singer herself. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, Kira Mack are at KK's Steel Mill in Wolverhampton on Saturday, the 4th of May. It is going to be an amazing night of rock. The city will not know what to hit it. Rhiannon joins me now to tell me more about what we can expect of the gig. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And for those who haven't been enlightened by your sound so far, I mean, you are proper heavy rock with an amazing edge. And if it wasn't for the fact that I know that you're UK based, you could be from the US or anywhere, couldn't you, really?
I mean, I love that. I mean, we've got a lot of different influences. We're obviously mainly rock, but we try and write something for everybody on every album. So we do like heavier bluesy stuff or like heavy stuff or country kind of things. We kind of just do whatever we want and hope for the best. And
Well,
then
it's clearly played with passion, though. That's the thing. It's one of what we're seeing is the passion in the music.
yeah, definitely. And we always said that we need to like make music that we love to play and we love to perform and turn that will make other people love it as well.
Well, with Mississippi Swinging, which is one of the tracks that you've been pushing at the moment, I mean that is, I mean, just an amazing edge to that song as well. So we will be taking a listen to that in a short while's time. But with the tour that's ongoing at the minute, you must be enjoying being out on the road. In fact, we find you in the tour bus at the minute, don't we?
Well, yes, and we are in the tour bus. So it's actually a little bit chaos because we're just pulling off. But we're just about 10 minutes out from the venue tonight. We're playing Manchester. It was the first night in Leeds last night, so it's all a go. But we wouldn't have it any other way. We absolutely love it.
And what's it like working with the rest of them? I mean, is it you all clearly gel well?
Yeah, so I met Joe like 10 years ago. He was a guitarist, and me and him write and wrote all of the songs. And then we've got Loz on drums, who is we say he's been alive 3 days because he's only 20. And then we've got Vern on bass.
So are the rest of the gang there with you now? Can we get them to give us a wave and say hi?
Yeah, do you want me to circle around? They're there.
Hello. Hello there.
Where's Joe? Oh, he's there.
Yeah. the way the sounds come together, though, I mean, how did this evolve? I mean, did you just sort of hit the ground running, or is it something you built up over time?
So it's been, I think people think that we've just come out of the woodwork and all of a sudden we've obviously got radio play and we've released an album and stuff, but we've obviously been working as Kira Mack as we know it for like 2 years. But before that, we've always done music. All of us have been to music like universities, so we've all studied music for years, and we've all done various different aspects within. I do covers gigs. Joe's making coffee. He doesn't know, he works at Carvery. But we've all kind of done loads of different aspects. So we've kind of always been in the music vibe. And then Kira Mack, as we know it, has only been existing for like 2 years.
Well, so it certainly seems to be working. But I love the fact that Kira Mack is kind of based on your name as well.
Yeah, so my middle name's Kira. And when I first started doing covers gigs and I started doing music things, everyone thought that I was a Rihanna tribute. So I used Kira in my middle name to obviously kind of squash any of that. And then my dad was really disappointed because he called me Rihanna because of Fleetwood Mac. And I said, well, I'll use Kira Mack as the stage name then.
Well, it is working, and it is a name to look out for and listen out for. So, with the tour, so you take it in dates left, right, and centre. You've got an absolutely massive run of gigs. It must be absolutely shattering to do all of this, but certainly you've got such an energy for it.
I'm literally drinking a Monster as we speak. It's a lot of coffee, a lot of cigarettes. We don't do any hardcore stuff, so that's always good. But except insulin, Joe's diabetic. And I do Lemsips like they're going out of fashion. But apart from that, we just kind of like, we're not too crazy. I know that's like the most boring thing ever. But we do get back and we just have like a chill beer and then we all go to bed. So that obviously helps because you can't, I mean, unless you're Motley Crue in like 1982, nobody's touring like that ever again.
No TVs out of hotel room windows. That's what
my mum runs the bank account, so if that bill came through, heads would roll.
There'll be hell to pay for that. We wouldn't want that at all. That's not going to happen. But I mean, you talked a bit about some of the influences there. I mean, you include Midlanders Led Zeppelin in your list of influences, but the likes of Amy Winehouse as well.
Well, yeah, everybody really. Any strong like female obviously, like, I love Adele as well. Any like strong female solo artists like that write their own music are my influences. And then we've got like all different. We love country stuff. I'm a massive Stevie Nicks fan. Joe loves like the Architects, but then he loves Metallica. But then he loves country stuff too, and then he loves bluesy like Joe Bonamassa stuff. And we all kind of like have our own little groove, our own little thingy, and we bring that to the live show and to the songs, and that makes like kind of a rounded end product, I think.
Yeah, well, Jailer are the support as well, so that's going to be worth a listen. Are you enjoying being out on the road with them?
Yeah, they're really, really sweet. They're very, very young, and they've never been on tour before, so we've obviously got to give them some pain. We've got some pranks lined up for them.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Yeah, anything you let us into, or is it best kept secret just in case it makes the press?
Well, I said that we should steal the van.
I think that's more of a crime than a prank.
I said that we should like drive the van somewhere, and then they'll come out at the end of their show and be like,
Set it on fire
the
and put it
van?"
off the cliff.
Or maybe we like unhook their trailers and the trailer comes off. No.
It's just dangerous.
I was just expecting hair removal cream in the shampoo, but there we go.
Hair removal cream in the shampoo. You know what? I hadn't thought about that, Jason, but here we are.
Okay,
Let's.
I think we should steal the gong.
We're going to steal the gong because they've got a gong that they use. We've also got some cashew nuts. We've got some dog biscuit that still look like cashew nuts.
Okay, the pranks will be aplenty. The music will be amazing. The gig we're looking at is at KK Steel Mill in Wolverhampton on Saturday, the 4th of May. A brilliant venue for what's going to be an absolutely brilliant rocking night by the sounds of things. How do we get hold of tickets?
So you can either go on kiramac.com and you can go on See Tickets, or you can go on the Gig Cartel website, or you can just put Kira Mac in Google or Kira Mac KKs, and it will just pop up.
Find out that way. Of course, you're on the socials as well. Easier to find on the socials too?
Yeah, it's just Kira Mac Band on all the socials. The link is in the link tree. Or there's a post that's pinned at the top of the Facebook page that's got the link on as well. So,
Rian and the rest of the gang that are being Kira Mac, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. We'll see you at KK's.
Mississippi swinging now. Mississippi swinging, got a whiskey sipping honey on my left hand. And Alabama knows the way the story goes, rambling man through another town. Tennessee twisting, hoping and wishing it don't follow me out. California creeping, I've been out 11 for the next round. I'm heading west, Dell's got my name on its list. Stop thinking with my head, can I make it out alive or dead? Got nothing left to lose or regret. This Southwest state of mind got me running out of time, yeah. Tucson, Arizona, Devil, South Dakota, gonna loosen these chains. 'Cause all I ever wanted was open road running through these veins. Highway to freeway, chasing down a song and a broken dream. If you need me, I'll be somewhere just past New Orleans. I'm heading west, Dell's got my name on its list. Stop thinking with my head, can I make it out alive or dead? Got nothing left to lose or regret. This Southwest state of mind got me running out of time. Hey, baby, you know that we're getting out fast, and you knew that it was never gonna last. Candy Cadillac chasing down the cash. Forget about it, baby, it's a thing of the past.
From the 9th to the 12th of May, spring is in the air and on the ground and everywhere at the Malvern Three Counties Showground because it is the RHS Spring Festival. Show lead Kate Dufton tells us more. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. And very much looking forward to the show. Hoping to be down there as planned on Thursday, so that's going to be good fun. And there is an absolute load to see. And as ever, you've mixed things up a bit. There's new stuff, there's some favourites, and there's lots more besides.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got our usual amazing 190-metre floral marquee full of amazing exhibitors. We've got a lot more show gardens this year, so there'll be absolutely features that you love, know and recognise. But new for this year is the Festival of Houseplants, which is really exciting. So think you can go there to find out how to look after your houseplants, how you can buy them, what you can store them in, how you can look after them. Loads of influencers in there, which is great. We've got also something called the Kitchen Garden Theatre. So this, you'll be sat within a kitchen garden, which is really exciting. And it's kind of sort of demonstrating how you can seamlessly work between growing things in your garden and putting it straight into your drink or food. So that's another exciting thing. We've got a really exciting feature garden this year. So the Secret Escape. So there's a boat as a roof, which then forms a stage. There's a bar in there. There's a disco polytunnel. I mean, completely crazy, but really exciting. It's being built at the moment, so I can definitely confirm that it will be fun to walk through.
And then this is part of it. It's nice to put ourselves in the right mood for the growing season ahead. And the Spring Festival always gives brand new ideas. And there'll be some great retailers there as well, meaning you can take home some plants to enjoy over the summer yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Loads of new retailers, loads of ones that come year in, year out, some really, really great quality nurseries. So there'll be shopping abundance available. And we also have the free porter service and plant creche. So if you buy a load of things, you don't want to carry it around, someone can look after it for you and then take it to your car later. So really, it's perfect.
And on top of that, you've got the dining experience too.
Yeah, so we have the Bluebell Bistro, which has come back, where you can get breakfast, lunch and afternoon tea. But we also have the new dining sheds. So it's a garden shed, but a little bit more glamorous. Think glass doors and comfy cushions. They're just a nice little hideaway away from the show, just to sort of take a little step back and enjoy yourself for a little bit.
And of course, it's great value to get in, but even better value for members too.
Yeah, absolutely. Members, both Three Counties and RHS, are discounted. But also this year, we've introduced the taster ticket. So this is for Saturday afternoon between 2 and 6. And this is if you want to just come and just sort of dip your toe into the RHS show or come and just buy your plants. And that ticket's £15.
Still great value, and particularly with all the talks that you get to see. I mean, you can fill your entire working day diary there with everything that you want to learn. And there'll be different guests on different days. So there'll be many people who want to come for multiple, whether it be grabbing a midweek day or nipping along for Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
Absolutely. We've got Alan Titchmarsh making an appearance, Adam Frost, Francis Tophill. So yeah, lots of really, really great gardening faces to come along, have a chat. We've also got some book signings on site. So you'll be able to find that all on our website. But if you want to meet one of the Gardeners World hosts, get a book signed, have a picture, there's absolutely opportunity for that as well.
So nice and easy to get in. The parking is fantastic. And, it's just a nice little short walk on site and facilities for absolutely everybody, whatever the needs.
Yeah, absolutely. We really hope to be as accessible as possible for people.
Well, it's going to be an absolutely amazing one. So give us all those details again where people grab their tickets and they can come along and enjoy the amazing experience that is RHS Malvern Spring Festival.
Yeah, so if you head to rhsmalvern.co.uk, you'll find all of the tickets available there. I recommend getting them in advance because it is cheaper to get them before than getting them on the gate, and also prevents any disappointment. But that's the place to go to find everything about the show.
And then doors will open at 9 a.m. each day, closes at 6 o'clock, and it is always worth going along and making sure you've got plenty of space in the boot for those bargains you want to bag whilst you're there. It is just a brilliant show, isn't it?
Absolutely. My favourite of the season.
Oh, Shirley, Kate Dufton, thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye. From the 30th of May through until the 1st of June, the Rose Theatre in Rugeley is playing host to Dogfight, brought there by Big Three Productions. I'm joined now by Ian and James to tell us more about the show. Hello, both.
Morning. Dogfight. Okay, exciting stuff. So I'm James. I am playing Eddie Birdlace. He's the male lead, and yeah, Dogfight is it's all about US Marines on their last night before they head on over to fight in Vietnam. So it's a show that's got a lot of grit. It's written by the creators of The Greatest Showman, Pasek and Paul. So it's got great music. And yeah, I'd say it's a show that's a lot more hard hitting than a lot of musicals. You know, you don't expect something sort of like Grease. There's a bit of grit to it, and
there is. I mean, and the name itself sort of twofold, isn't it? Because the main character and his colleagues are somewhat unkind to a young lady in their world, and the way in which a love story blossoms is unusual, but it is a bit of a challenging subject, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So essentially, the dog fight, which it's been interesting explaining to people what people assume dog fight is. You know, I've had some interesting answers, but yeah, it's so the dog fight was a tradition. I'm assuming it no longer occurs, but who knows?
Hope not.
So the dog fight is sort of all the Marines before they sort of put together a party, and they bet on who can bring the ugliest date to a party. So it's it's a terrible thing, really. And like I say, the story between Eddie and Rose sort of develops from there, and it's interesting how it goes from it sort of explores stuff like love, loss, and I guess forgiveness, really. But there's some also hard hitting stuff, sort of PTSD and those type of things that you know, people who who went off to war and experience, and that sort of. And especially at the time of the Vietnam War, obviously there was a lot of stigma around it. So Eddie's got sort of a really interesting character, and what he feels on the inside is very different to how he shows it on the outside. So,
Ian, tell us a bit about your role.
Yeah. Well, I play a number of roles through the show. I start off as Pete, who is Eddie's psychic on the bus to San Francisco. He's been there, done it before. He's a veteran of the Korean War, so he knows what Eddie's going through. I transgress into a Royal Marine sergeant, and then on to a tattoo artist, and a couple of other little roles. So yeah, it's very exciting. It's been very enjoyable rehearsing for this production.
Yeah, and it's a show which has been done over the last few years, but it's one which I think is often undervalued for what's in there, from the storytelling and the quality of the music. I know that one of your songs, James, is absolutely phenomenal, and it is such a good vocal challenge for the performers, but one which I'm going to guess you guys are going to rise to.
Yeah, certainly. There's some tricky stuff in there, I've got to say. It's not just sort of, the vocal ranges and that sort of. There's lots of bits where things overlap. There's lots of things happening at one time, which all, when we're working all together, sounds lovely. But when you're sort of rehearsing it, you break it down. Sometimes you're just like, what am I? And then it's only when you hear it all together that it sort of all makes sense. But yeah, there's some brilliant stuff in there. There really is. And I think what's nice, and I think it's been a good challenge for me. So Eddie's very different to a lot of characters I've played before. I've often played comic characters or characters that more, I don't know, charactery. They're quite exaggerated. Whereas I think the challenge with Eddie is it's sort of he has this internal struggle between. You'll see it. There's a big contrast between how he acts with his friends and how he acts when he's when he's talking to Rose and that type of thing.
It's sort of both brash yet soft on the inside.
Yeah, and I think the music does a really good job of showing that. A lot of Eddie's stuff, a lot of his singing is actually quite contrast to what you're seeing him portray on the outside. And yeah, I think with a lot of the characters, there's a lot of range that they go through their journey through one night. There's a lot of different emotions, a lot of quite complex emotions that they go through. But yeah, it's a really interesting show. It's a show I've always wanted to do, and yeah, to have the opportunity to take part in it's really, really exciting. And like I say, we've got just over 4 weeks to go, and yeah, it's all ramping up now, and we're getting very excited.
It's getting the look right, getting the sound right. And with Big Three, tell us a bit about the company behind this.
So Big Three is a relatively new company. I've not performed with them previously, but we've had a really good time rehearsing together. You know, met a lot of new faces, but also some familiar ones as well. And yeah, we've it's really exciting. There's talks of what the next show is going to be. Can't really reveal that yet, but yeah, so it's been really exciting. Like I say, and you know, I've met Ian, and you know, there's some a really great bunch of people.
So that's going to be an absolutely awesome show. I know the show itself is well worth bringing to the stage. Where do we get details on all that's going on? Maybe see a few bits on the socials, and also grab our tickets.
Oh, well, I have a screen for that, Jason. I came prepared. There we go. There you go. All the details are on there. So the best place to get tickets is on Ticket Source. So you can head on over there, and it's very simple, like your standard booking for any sort of event. Pick your seats, that type of thing. You can also obviously contact the email or the phone number, which is 07946 098 078.
Or contact big3theatre@gmail.com and get your details there. But so are you all over Facebook as well?
We are indeed, yeah. Just search Big 3 Productions, and we should pop up. We'll have a lot more marketing material ramping up from here on in, so you should be hearing a lot about us. And yeah, it's very, very exciting. I've not performed at the Rose Theatre before, but lovely venue, and yeah, we can't wait to perform.
Get kicked in, yeah.
It is the 30th and the 31st of May, and also at the 1st of June, 7:30 at the Rugeley Rose Theatre. And it's going to be well worth enjoying an absolutely amazing show with what I am told, and I believe you because I know James. So it's going to be a good cast, and it's going to be well worth checking out. James and Ian, thank you both for joining us.
Cheers,
Thank you, Jason.
With 12 Angry Men at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 7th through to the 11th of May, and a particularly strong cast of characters, you've got an absolute treat ahead of you. Now, somebody who has been making several appearances in the recent tour is understudy Adam Bloom, who joins me now to tell me a bit about the life of being an understudy and about the show itself. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, good here. And due to a bit of ill health on the recent tour, you've made quite a few appearances of late, haven't you?
Yes, I have. So I understudy 4 tracks. I understudy the Guard, Juror 2, Juror 5, and Juror 6. But yeah, the first leg, I did go on a couple of times as the Guard. And with these things, you just don't know what's around the corner. And yeah, a bug hit the tour about a month ago, and it went over the course of about 3 or 4 weeks. And I got a chance to play Juror 5. I've been on quite regularly as the Guard, and I even went on book as the foreman for 3 or 4 shows as well. But it's a great experience. Obviously, it's a strange catch-22 being the understudy, because you don't wish ill on any of your colleagues and all the chaps that have become friends over the course of the tour, but you have to take your chance when it comes, and I've enjoyed it very much as well.
Well, how does it work when you are understudy? I mean, take it. I won't discuss pay as such, but it's part of the tour. You head out on the road because you never know when it could happen.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm very much a part of the cast. I'm a part of the gang, and it's 12 jurors and a guard, so there are 13 actors on the stage in our show, and there's one walking understudy in this production, and that's me. So I am the only actor not on the stage most times, and I have to travel with the company, and I'm in the dressing room during the show. So there are other understudied roles with the actors that are on stage, but essentially with one of the guys that are on the poster, those actors bump up and I bump in, if you will. So to be honest, this is my first tour, so I've been a fly on the wall. I've learned so much, and there's such an eclectic bunch of characters, the actors. So I'm learning a lot and hearing some great stories.
But I mean, you've got enough of your own stories to tell as well. There's been some feature film work of late and a few other bits and pieces. So you're kept nice and busy when you're not waiting in the wings.
Yes, yeah. Well, you've clearly done your homework. This isn't just my first tour this year. I've also had the release of my first feature film, Dune Part 2, which has caused quite a storm. So I've been keeping busy, you know, doing my my PR work and my admin, and if you will, just trying to the life of an actor on and off stage. You know, it's hopefully, you know, more to come.
But it must be an interesting one though, because auditioning for understudy seems like an odd thing to say.
Yes, well, like I said, this is my first tour, and you know, I'm not 21 years old. I'm 30 now, and I just wanted that experience. You know, when the audition came through, it was something I had to consider, to think about, because, you know, essentially I'm not auditioning for other roles, as I'm an employed actor at the minute, and I had to contemplate whether it was worth it. And once I took the job, I realized it was absolutely worth it, and every actor, young actor, should look to be an understudy, because you have to work twice as hard, and in my case 4 times as hard, because you are covering more than one track. A lot of the older guys, they have one key role, and that is their role, but they've all done it before. They've all been an understudy. And I think in a play like 12 Angry Men, where no actor goes off of the stage and you have to be on the ball at all times, you know, we have our understudy rehearsal, and sometimes we try doing 2-3 tracks in one go. It's a great way to keep the brain going, to keep you motivated, and to keep an actor at the top of his game.
Yeah, and being 30, you're about the right age to be able to jump in either direction as well. You can play it young, play it old, depending what's needed for the part, with a bit of makeup, obviously.
Exactly. A lot of the cast, there's a few older geezers in there, and there's a couple of us who are relatively young. Even within my own tracks, there's a wide range of ages. But to be honest, with Reginald Rose's script, only maybe one, the old man, during 9, is specific. But the thing is, as they're unnamed characters, you could really play it however you like, as long as you know, have the same intentions as the characters. It doesn't really matter who you are, because with this play, 12 Angry Men, it is about, you know, male ego, male anger, toxic masculinity, and any kind of, you know, male relationship that is fully represented with the 12 jurors, regardless of their age and creed.
And I think as well, it's a story which it stood the test of time. We got a 1957 film, and it's really found its own place on stage as well, particularly with the way in which the tables are turned. I'm saying no more than that during the show itself, and it is something which. It triggers you to think about all those interactions that you see, and when you've got various juxtaposed positions on that in the scripts that you've learned, that must again be really interesting. And then again, seeing that stage show go out on the screen in the dressing room, just in case you are called on during a show, you know, that must be again an unusual experience, but one which the story never gets old.
Yeah, exactly. As you say, the table keeps turning, and you know, it's no spoiler to say some minds are changed within the play. You know, the jurors are debating whether or not a man is guilty or innocent for murder, and the buzz within the auditorium every time a mind is changed is reflected not just on the stage, but also with the audience in a very connected way. Yeah, it never gets old. That's absolutely true. It's so relevant today. You know, actually, this morning, I passed the Royal Courts of Justice in central London, and there were protesters outside about the social worker Trudy Warner, who held up a sign saying, you know, jurors have the right to vote with their conscience, and she was essentially convicted, but she got off today. But it just shows how relevant juries are, and the concept of jurors, you know,
Well, the story itself is going to be brought to life on stage at the Grand Theatre. Whether or not Adam is part of the on-stage cast, we will have to wait and see. It runs from the 7th through to the 11th of May. And Adam, whether you're in the wings or on stage, we know you're a consummate performer. Have a brilliant time with the rest of the tour. We look forward to, fingers crossed, seeing you if somebody takes a bit of a break during the run in Wolverhampton. You can get your tickets online now, grandtheatre.co.uk, or give the box office a call on 01902 429212. But for now, Adam Bloom, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Now, I've been making my way around the Street Stories exhibition, a load of great pieces of artwork in unused shops across the city. I first of all caught up with the chair of the bid, Ian Watkins, and the artist of the Goldie piece that you'll see in the heart of the city centre by the man on the horse, who is Evie Whitfield. First of all, Ian, tell us a bit about how this has come about.
Well, the Business Improvement District, the BID, has as one of its main priorities making the physical environment of the city centre exciting, full of surprise, full of experience, and combined with that is obviously one of the challenges we face, which is some of the oversupply of retail units, that we've got some empty units. So this is a great way of combining those two things into engaging with local artists who can then almost showcase themselves, but also we are making the environment a bit more exciting. We're putting surprise into visits to the city, so people can come in for completely different reasons and suddenly be met by these amazing artworks in unexpected places. And there's a surprise element to it as well, because it's interactive, so it's a really exciting project. I haven't seen all the artworks yet, so I'm really looking forward to following the trail around.
Yeah, well, we get to go on a tour, which is going to be great. And Evie, I mean, stood next to your own artwork, it must be great from working on this sort of scale.
Yeah, it's lovely, and also a chance to meet Goldie himself as well. Never thought that I'd graduated from university from Wolverhampton last year, and be able to at this point collaborate with someone who's very well known and holds a big part in Wolverhampton's history and legends as well. So it's great.
And with the QR code on the side, it brings it all to life, doesn't it?
Yeah, you just scan it with your phone, and you download an app, and then you hold it against the frame of it all. It comes up with information about Goldie and his work, and because he wasn't just a music artist, he was a graffiti artist himself. So
and all that story is part of the telling the stories of these people. And I suppose as well it's an interesting medium to work in as well, because I take it this is all computer based, and it then turns into something real, which is an interesting way around of doing it.
Yeah, like I work on my iPad using digital art, so Procreate, and the chance for it being animated and coming to life it's another aspect and vision where I might take my work. So
Well, I mean, it's going to be great seeing all of the art books here. Did you collaborate with the other artists as well to talk about what each of you were doing?
There's a few of them. So again, Kitty Kerry as well. We're talking about it, and we weren't too sure what to expect because it was our first time.
Ian, again, this is so good for Wolverhampton itself, and funding for projects like this comes from outside of other areas. It's unusual the way the money comes together for this sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's one of the things the bid does, because it's also enables us to unlock certain funding strands and support applications by other organisations and by the local authority as well, to unlock funding from all sorts of different sources that can support all aspects of the city's life. So it's really positive for us, and really. Well,
we'll get to go on the tour, which is going to be good fun. Yeah. We'll experience the artwork. For now, Ian Watkins and Evie Whitfield, thank you both.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
This piece here is done by a local artist who's called Angel Botley. She's a UV art specialist. So the piece on the left is her UV artwork, and the piece on the right is normal artwork. So they're one and the same, and when you look at the actual painting, it will be the one on the right, and then when she applies the UV lights over the top, it will transition into the beautiful painting on the left. And she's done loads of different pieces. She's local. She's represented by Hammond Galleries, who are based just outside of Wolverhampton, if you wanted to go and look at any of her other artwork and stuff.
Now, our third piece of artwork is by Belinda, who is here with me now. Tell us a bit about what we've got on this here display.
Oh, the actual artwork is, it's called Aurora. It's about a starburst, which is when a load of stars are forming in the universe. It's the biggest amount of light you can ever see.
And how does this one come to life? Yeah.
It goes like into a kaleidoscope. It's absolutely amazing how the job that they've done, you know, bringing the artwork to life.
So you create the artwork and they then take it to its next level?
Yeah, they've done all, I can't take credit for that, sorry. But yeah, it's actually really, because what it's based on as well is when you were a kid and you had the kaleidoscope, you look into it and it changes all the time. Well, they've actually done that for me.
With the concept behind all of this, I mean, at what point did you decide to go kaleidoscope and bring it to life in that way?
I was looking at the Fibonacci pattern. You get it in like sunflowers and things like that. So how I started off, I was collecting like old books from charity shops. So I wanted to use things that belonged to other people. So I'd use that in the Fibonacci pattern. And like I was incorporating some of them into my artwork, and it started off from that, and then it ended up like with a kaleidoscope. That's brush strokes.
And is this the sort of scale that you normally work to?
They are. I've got one that size. Yeah.
But it's
not this big.
Not quite this big and this close up.
Yeah.
But I mean, where do you see this going next? I mean, because this is a great exhibition to be part of, isn't it?
Well, everyone's going to buy my artwork, aren't they?
Okay. And how do they find you then? Where can they do that?
Go to belindamarialongston.com.
Okay.
And all my artwork's on there.
Check out the details, check out the artwork, and enjoy it coming to life in Wolverhampton City Centre.
Thank you so much.
Belinda, lovely to chat with you.
And you.
Right, we've made our way to our fourth piece of artwork. Kerry Hunt is the artist behind this, and he's stood here in front of it. I recognise here, what's going on?
Well, what I've done, I've created an image from all the different buildings in Wolverhampton. I mean, this one here, Beatties. All these buildings are ever evolving. In fact, Wolverhampton is ever evolving, which is kind of why I've used that tagline of it's only ever temporary.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's going to evolve into something bigger and better and bolder. Kind of like my image.
Well, this is it, and I think it just speaks loudly to you, doesn't it? And when this comes to life, what happens here?
Oh, it's so amazing. All the buildings sort of like come alive and start bouncing around to the music. And they've also brought in a few extras, like with traffic lights, because Wolverhampton was the first place for traffic lights.
Yeah.
And they're doing like little motorbikes, because there was something about motor industry here. Well, it's a black country.
Yeah, I mean, some being for the cars and also the bikes, because it's memorialised in a piece of artwork just outside Tesco's on the Penn Road. So
Absolutely.
It's part of our city's history, but you never know what's going to be part of the future, do you?
You don't. And this is why I wanted to sort of incorporate the graffiti as well, because even though it's not everybody's cup of tea, I think it does inspire and show off artists' skills around the town centre. But the artists that I've photographed all had permission, so they're not illegal. It's all legal and above board.
Which is the way we like it.
Exactly.
But with the photos included here, I mean, is it your own work that you've then sort of incorporated?
Yes, it's very pop art, very cut and paste. It starts off with like the background, which is like a rusty old door. So I've used that as like, so I was going for like the urban decay, but then I thought, no, I want to see it in a more positive light. So that's when I started bringing in the buildings and really oversizing the different things, just to really point out the beautiful parts of Wolverhampton.
Yeah, and while some things do start to change and tarnish, it then allows them to be polished and brought into new life.
Absolutely, and I think that's what I like to do, is like make the disregarded more regarded.
Where do we find out more about your artwork?
Oh, well, I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. I'm just completing my final degree at Wolverhampton Art University.
So again, more work coming together, and I know a big showcase later on this year for you then.
Well, there's an exhibition on the 7th of June at the Wolverhampton School of Art, and that's where my work has evolved more into the graffiti style. It's a good mix.
Right, we'll look out for your Instagram. Meanwhile, we can see you in town on what was the works in the Manchester Centre. Kerry, lovely to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Now, Amanda Keaton is the artist on the next piece of work we're in front of, the Barbershop Quartet. Tell us a bit about this one.
Well, the Barbershop Quartet here are sporting the favoured teen hairstyle of the boys of today. And the Farmyard Gangsters over there are... they're looking a bit menacing, so I thought I'd put those in jail.
So how come the Barbershop Quartet? Where did this piece of work come from?
Well, basically it came out of my head because it links back to really Over time, my husband has a brain tumour, so the struggles of like mental health and things like that have always been like upmost in my head, sort of thing. So I enjoy painting pictures that make people smile.
Yeah.
So literally just to make people happy.
Bringing a bit of brightness, and llamas
That's
alpacas
right.
can do that somehow
Yes,
anyway, can't
yes.
they? Are you a particular fan of alpacas? Is this how it came about as well?
Not really, but I'm passionate about nature, and I enjoy.
They have got good faces, though, haven't they?
Yeah, well, they have.
Yeah,
Yes.
they can smile and look at you.
Yes.
And with your artwork on this sort of scale, I mean, it's great to see, but it's hard to take home and put on the wall, isn't it? So do you do pieces which are more front room friendly?
Yes, I do. I mean, this piece, it's about that sort of size. Mixed media and acrylic and mixed media. That's my style. So.
And can we find you online as well?
Yes, you can. Yes.
What's the address?
So we've got Amanda Keaton Art, and Candy Pop Art and Design is my own little business as well.
So have a look at those on Facebook and Instagram, and check out all the work. It's not just alpacas, is it?
No, it's not just alpacas, no.
Lots more beside. But
No.
lovely to meet you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
For sharing your artwork in this way.
Thank you.
And you'll be there joining everyone else watching it come to life now, won't you?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Thank you ever so much.
Now, Iska the she-wolf is brought to life in the heart of the city centre. There's some amazing animation. Steve Edwards is the man behind the picture itself. Hello, sir.
Hi, hello.
How you doing?
Not too bad. Happy to be here.
Well, and it must be great seeing the whole trail as well.
Yeah. Inspirational.
Tell us a bit about your piece of work.
This is an old piece, combination of portraiture and animal illustration, and it's just relating to Lady Wolfrunner, the founder of Wolverhampton.
And obviously an inspiring piece of work, looking fantastic on the wall here.
Thank you.
And I mean, what sort of reaction have you had from people who've seen it?
Only a few on social media so far, but I'm sure it'll go down well.
Yeah.
In town.
And what else do you do when it comes to your work? What's your preferred medium to work in?
All sorts. In the summer I like to do paint street art. I did the Out of Darkness Cometh Light just round the corner, as you might have seen. And I did the Wolf down in the lighthouse when it was open. And in the winter I do like this sort of stuff, canvas, line art, portraiture commissions.
And I suppose we can find much of your work online?
Yeah. Graphoflage.com. Graphoflage is graffiti and camouflage. That's my style. Yeah. Okay.
And what sort of size do you normally work to? Because obviously
all sorts, really.
you're doing a lot of big things outside.
Yeah. Dudley Zoo apparently that I painted was apparently the longest mural in Europe. So, and then as small as postcards. So you've got to be versatile, as everyone knows when you're an artist. Yeah.
Well, I mean, congratulations on having the work featured here.
Thank
it's looking
you.
brilliant, and thank you for having a chat.
Thank you very much.
Now, we've come to the end of the trail. I'm with Cherry Shine, Manager Director of the bid, and we don't have an artist with us for this particular piece of work, but interesting one, a colour palette on the wall behind us.
Yeah, isn't it so bright and so vibrant? And what the whole ethos of it is to shout about what Wolverhampton's about. So you look at all the different colours represent a part of Wolverhampton's heritage, and it's really colourful, really bright, and you'll learn about the history too.
And we're here at the railway stations. This is what welcomes visitors to our city, as well as anybody coming in from the suburbs into the heart of the town.
Absolutely, we really wanted that vibrant welcome. We've already done bits of art within the train station already. We've got the Changemakers Hub, and we just wanted to make sure that everybody had a really bright welcome to our city, whether they're just travelling through or whether they're here for the day. And hopefully, with the trail, it'll inspire people to have a further look around the city centre too.
And learn, say, a bit more about a history with a rich past but a vibrant future.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about slaves, the Civic Hall, we talk about the old transport and things like that. And when you look at the animation for this piece of artwork, you'll just see some of those aspects come to light. It's a real delight.
And how long is this display on for?
For as long as possible. So whilst we would like to have our vacant units filled, we would really, really like to have our artwork on display too for as long as possible. So if there's interest in our vacant units, then we will look to relocate the artwork wherever we can.
And this is George. It's on a window, so it can be peeled off and moved and put back on again.
Yeah, maybe, hopefully,
Yeah.
yes. But we will resize it and put it somewhere else wherever we can. So,
And where do people find out more about the work of the bid?
So if you have a look at enjoywolverhampton.com, everything that we do, if it's events, promotions, activities, and what all the other businesses are doing in our city centre, you'll find it on there.
Yeah, and dare I mention the fact you're already looking forward to Christmas, aren't you?
We are. Unfortunately, we've had lots of meetings about Christmas already. So I won't tell you too much about the grotto, but it will definitely be back this year.
And if it's anywhere near as popular as last year, it'll be absolutely rammed the whole time. It's so busy.
It's so lovely to see all the children having a great time. So yeah, can't wait. Well, although I would like to have a nice summer in between, can't wait to bring the grotto
You've
back.
got to think about snow in July. That's how it works.
Yeah. Sometimes in January, but yeah, that's fine.
Well, it's been brilliant to see, and so good to see it's coming together for our city.
Yeah.
And thank you for being part of the guided tour.
Thank you for joining us.
Sutton Arts Theatre are back in action with the late Marilyn Monroe. That's on stage from the 25th of April through till the 4th of May. It is a fantastic theatre. They're a wonderful company, and I'm joined now by director Dexter Whitehead and also by Elise Evans playing Pat Newcomb and Marilyn herself, Georgina Kerr-Jones. Hello to you all.
Hello.
Right, let's start with you, Dexter. Tell us a bit about what it's like directing an icon.
Oh, well, it's been a really crazy experience, let's say that. Georgina's been wonderful. Sometimes it's a bit, what should I say? No, she's been a little bit nervous about playing someone who's so iconic that the world's just been expecting someone great to come out, and that's what we're waiting for with Georgina. And tomorrow, I think it's going to be perfect. We'll see. But yeah, it's been very hard, but she's put all the work in that she needs to become Marilyn.
Okay, Georgina, glowing recommendations there from your director. He is biased, but we know you're good, don't we?
Oh, no, I think like Dexter just said, I think the pressure of playing such an icon, because everybody already has a perception of her and everybody's seen her in something, or they've seen like the iconic white dress. So everyone's got something in mind, but hopefully I live up to the expectation and like do her justice.
I am not expecting anything other than perfection, to be fair, because I know the company. I know you're a good gang.
Nor am I. That's exactly what I want.
So it is going to be great. But it's obviously quite a story to tell, and you've got a roller coaster that you've got to put on stage, haven't you?
Yeah. So it starts on her last day. So the play's set just across one day, which is the last day before she dies. So obviously to go through all that in one day and like how she ends up, how she does, like yeah, it's a lot.
With the work that you and the rest of the cast put in to make this not only believable but also as emotional as it will be, I mean it is an interesting setup to run such a short period like that, isn't it?
Yes, I've done so much character work just to find out everything about her, everything about her childhood, everything that would possibly lead her to be feeling the way that she did on that day. And I think a lot of it has got stuff to do with her past trauma and stuff. So I'm really just, when I'm on stage, I'm just going through that and thinking about all the stuff she's gone through to help me get in that place.
And Elise, we've got Pat Newcomb as your role. Tell us about Pat's part in this story.
So Pat was Marilyn's publicist, but they also had a very close friendship, and they were often described as siblings. And I think you see that a lot in the show, because there are moments where they disagree, but there's so much love and respect there within it, and it's a really beautiful journey that they go on in the show, and you see a side of Marilyn that you haven't really seen with Pat.
Mm-hmm. And again, Dexter, this is one where you need to approach this story sensitively and without some of the sensation that went everywhere in Marilyn.
Yeah, I mean, everything about it with Pat's part and some of the other characters that are in the play, it's all about the conspiracy, what's happened there. Did it was it someone that made this happen? And that's been the really exciting part about getting into the story of what actually happened. That's really good. But yeah, you know, so much has to go into that, and it's just, you know, the whole journey has been so exciting. Georgina actually thinks that one of them did it, and that's what she talks about all the time at rehearsals now, like, which one of them did it, you know, kind of thing. So it's all very good. It's really exciting to watch.
So yeah, again, you know, really exploring an icon, telling an amazing but sad story all at the same time. And Georgina, you don't get the iconic dress, do you, because of it being on her last day?
We don't get it, but it is in the place somewhere. I'm not going to say where.
That's a secret. What are you doing? That's a secret. What are you doing?
Right, so no more spoilers than that. We haven't given too much away, have we, Dexter?
Honestly, the set is absolutely amazing. It should just be set in her bedroom, which was completely white. When people come and see it, they should be able to see what we've done to make it a bit more exciting, and it's so good. We're so happy with that, and I think the cast are as well.
Okay, so we've got a treat ahead of us because it's an icon. We've got a story which many people may not realise from the last 24 hours of Marilyn's life. And you've got intrigue and mystery around a lot of what was happening. You have potentially a dress, and you've got a set which is going to hopefully not outshine, but shine alongside the cast, which is going to be worth it. So all we need to do now is get tickets. Georgina, have you got those details in front of you, please?
I do have the details in front of me. So you can go online at www.suttonartstheatre.co.uk, or I have the box office number, which is 0121 355 5355.
And just to give it a Google, look for Sutton Arts Theatre on Facebook as well, and you'll be able to see all the forthcoming productions, because I know there is already more work in the pipeline. This is a theatre that just keeps giving, isn't it?
We hope so.
And the ice cream's a great value for money too, I can tell you that much. But it's going to be worth getting yourself down there. Marilyn, as we say, runs from the 25th of April through to the 4th of May. Lots of chances to see. Check out all those show times just by nipping along to the website for Sutton Arts Theatre. Georgina, Elise and Dexter, thank you all for joining us.
Thank you so much for today. Thank you so much. Come and see the show, guys, please. You're going to love it.
Right, that's your lot for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Back with episode 776 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.